Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now, heading right on into our Thursday evening. And again, hopefully you had a good Thursday afternoon. Hopefully you stayed nice and cool on this second day of October, where we were talking about high temperatures right up around 90 for most of us. We'll look at those actual daytime highs coming up. But what about our next opportunity of rain? Is it beginning to show up? There is some new data coming in this evening. Want to talk about that. And then what about maybe some less hot temperatures on down the road? Again, we will get to all those details over the next few minutes, but let's go ahead and start right here, right now, talking about our Thursday evening. And again, you can see temperatures will slowly ease down through the 80s this evening. In fact, by 10 p.m., still right around 80 with fair skies and again, light winds. So this is what we did this afternoon. These were your actual recorded daytime highs. And again, here in the Metroplex, most of us right around 90, give or take. 89 officially at DFW. You can see over around Garland, just a touch hotter. In fact, the Garland area right around 93 there in northeastern Dallas County. Otherwise, around North Texas, similar story. Most of us right around 90. Few locations stick out like Breckenridge, 94, and we'll even Sulphur Springs over there in Hopkins County, 92, again, earlier this afternoon. So looking at radar, again, locally in North Texas, it's completely quiet. Simply put, nothing going on. But again, if you look over in the parishes of Louisiana, even up across parts of Arkansas, there are some scattered showers, even a couple rumbles of thunder over there. That activity is kind of slowly drifting to the west, but it's going to continue to dissipate. And again, the bottom line is none of that activity is going to make its way into, well, number one, Texas, or even close to North Texas. And even as we widen out the view, taking a national perspective, again, one thing you may notice this evening, and you may have noticed all work week long, it's not just North Texas, it's not just the southern plains where the overall pattern is very stagnant, very quiet, but again, look around the country. What do you see? Not a lot of anything, right? This is the National Radar Review here, and again, most locations are relatively quiet. Now, there is an exception beginning to at least take shape over my shoulder, and this is looking up in the Pacific Northwest. You can see the counterclockwise area spin, and this is an upper level storm system. We've been talking about this at length as we've gone through this work week. This will finally be making landfall this evening tonight up in the Pacific Northwest, the state of Washington, Oregon, and again, that eventually is going to begin to move out into the northern plains as we go through the weekend. Of course, earlier in the week, we were maybe getting some signals with this storm trough. Again, you can see over my shoulder that as we went through the weekend and early next week, there might be a weak frontal boundary by Monday down into the area. Latest data is just keeping this way too far to the north, so that's not going to be an option. But there is some new data here showing by the middle part of this upcoming week, Wednesday into Thursday, here comes another ripple, and you can see it right there. There might be another weak frontal boundary by Wednesday night in the area, maybe taking our temperatures down by a few degrees. Number one, that's good. But again, you can also see there may be an opportunity somewhere in the region for a little bit of rain, a little bit of thunderstorm activity, a little bit of precipitation. So again, we're kind of locking into some of those rain chances, but at least right now here in North Texas, looks pretty minimal. But again, we will track that over the next few days. Otherwise, going forward in time, this is tonight. That's tomorrow. Again, basically quiet. The only thing you may notice is down across parts of central Texas, maybe down towards Austin. Could be a shower, thunderstorm down in that direction. But again, for the rest of us, we just remain completely dry, again, as we, go forward in time. Now, here's one thing you will continue to enjoy, not just really over the last few days, but even into the weekend. All the humidity does stay well down along the Gulf Coast. So simply put, again, as far as any at least humid or oppressive conditions, along with the hot temperatures, again, right now that's not showing up. You can see we'll stay in those comfortable levels. So these are your overnight lows, mid-upper 60s for most of us, fair skies, light winds. This would be your finally Friday, more in the way of mid-90s for all of us. So another hot afternoon, light winds continue, and this would be stair-stepping you into the weekend, more in the way of upper 80s, so maybe a couple degrees less hot as we get into Saturday. So going forward in time, again, you can see we'll take at least a degree or two off by the time we get to Saturday. We'll add a couple degrees by Sunday, back up to right around 91. And then there it is. As we get into parts of next week, again, looking a little unsettled. I know Wednesday right now, it's only a 10% probability. That's more than likely going to be 20, maybe 30%, depending on exactly how that data continues to unfold with that weak frontal boundary in the area. You can see if it does move through by the following Thursday, there would be your high temperature of only 82. So potentially some heat relief there on down the road. More coming up.